It started with a single tweet, just one cryptic sentence from Tyler, the creator that sent the internet spiraling into chaos. Within minutes, hashtags exploded, fan accounts turned on each other, and the world watched as one of music's most creative minds faced something even he couldn't joke his way out of, his own fan base. People who once screamed his lyrics at festivals were suddenly questioning everything. Some called him a sellout. Others said he was finally showing his true colors. But what really happened behind the scenes? What pushed Tyler to the breaking point? Was it fame, exhaustion, or betrayal from the very people who built him up? Sources close to Tyler claim he's been acting strange for weeks, avoiding friends, skipping studio sessions, even canceling private appearances at the last minute. But then came that one night in LA, a confrontation caught on camera that no one was supposed to see. It's the moment fans say changed everything. The moment Tyler realized his fan base wasn't what he thought it was. From angry DMs to leaked messages and a shocking betrayal that rocked his inner circle, the truth behind Tyler's latest meltdown might be darker than anyone imagined. Stay tuned because this story goes far beyond music. It all began with that late-night tweet. No explanation, no context, just the words, "I'm tired of pretending." Tyler didn't tag anyone, didn't post a picture, nothing. But that one sentence sent his entire fan base into meltdown mode. Within an hour, people on Twitter and Reddit were dissecting it like a secret code. Some thought it was about the music industry. Others thought it was about his friends. But the wildest theory of all? That Tyler was done with his own fans. The next morning, things only got worse. Tyler was spotted leaving a private studio in Los Angeles looking frustrated, hood up, ignoring cameras. One paparazzi shouted, "Tyler, are you done with your fans?" And Tyler didn't even look back. That single moment sparked 1,000 headlines. Tyler, the creator fed up with his own followers? Is Tyler over fame? The meltdown of a misunderstood genius. Fans flooded his Instagram comments, some begging him to explain, others accusing him of being ungrateful. But behind the scenes, people close to Tyler said this wasn't out of nowhere. Apparently, for months, he had been growing distant from the people who once motivated him. His inner circle noticed he stopped interacting with fan art, stopped responding to fan messages, and even skipped the fan meet and greet after his last show. One friend reportedly said, "He used to say his fans were his energy. Now he calls them noise." Rumors say it all started after a controversial live stream. During the stream, one fan asked him if he still cared about the people who supported him when he was weird and not mainstream. Tyler paused, smirked, and said, "I don't know, y'all changed." Fans laughed at first, thinking it was a joke. But the silence after that, long, heavy, uncomfortable, made people realize he wasn't joking. A few days later, leaked audio started circulating on Twitter. It was from a private conversation Tyler had at a small after-party. In the clip, his voice could be heard saying, "They think they know me, but they don't. They want the old me, but they'd hate to actually meet him." Nobody knew who recorded it, but it spread fast. Fans reacted with disbelief, calling it fake at first. But when Tyler didn't deny it, people started to believe it was real. By the end of that week, his fan base had split into two camps, those who defended him, saying he was finally setting boundaries, and those who accused him of being arrogant and dismissive. One fan tweeted, "We made him who he is, and now he's turning his back on us." Another replied, "Maybe y'all were never really listening to his lyrics. He's been warning us." Meanwhile, Tyler went quiet. No tweets, no interviews, no public appearances. For someone known for his chaotic humor and wild social media presence, that silence was louder than anything. His friends tried to downplay it. His longtime collaborator posted a photo of them in the studio with the caption, "Focused." But fans weren't buying it. They could sense something deeper brewing. Then came the turning point, the night of the private listening session. Only close friends, a few collaborators, and a handful of loyal fans were invited. According to multiple people who were there, things got heated fast. One fan reportedly confronted Tyler, saying, "We supported you when nobody else did. Why are you pushing us away?" Tyler, visibly tense, shot back, "Because you only support the version of me that fits your idea. The moment I change, y'all flip." Gasps filled the room. One of his friends tried to calm things down, but Tyler wasn't done. He stood up, eyes burning, and said, "I'm not your puppet. I'm not your nostalgia." That clip was never meant to go public, but of course it did. Someone recorded the entire thing on their phone, and within hours it was everywhere. Fans were divided again. Some said it was powerful. Tyler finally expressing what most artists feel but never say. Others called it a betrayal. The comment sections turned into war zones. Even celebrity friends started taking sides. One of his closest collaborators tweeted something cryptic. Sometimes love turns into entitlement. People assumed it was about the situation. Within minutes, fans were demanding answers. Then an unexpected twist hit the story. An anonymous insider leaked screenshots of a group chat allegedly between Tyler and a few fans from years ago, back when he used to interact directly with people online. In those old messages, Tyler seemed genuine, funny, and warm, nothing like the man people were now seeing. One fan wrote, "What happened to that guy who said we were family?" Another commented, "He used to thank us for everything. Now he acts like we're the enemy." Rumors began swirling that Tyler's frustration wasn't just about fans. It was about betrayal from within his own team. A source close to him claimed that someone he trusted had been feeding private information to fan accounts for months. Details about unreleased songs, his personal relationships, and even his mental state were allegedly being leaked. If true, it explained why Tyler suddenly stopped trusting people, including fans. One night, outside a well-known restaurant, Tyler was approached by a fan holding a vinyl and asking for a signature. Witnesses say Tyler hesitated, looked the fan in the eye, and said quietly, "You think you know me, but you don't know what this costs." Then he walked away. That clip went viral instantly. People replayed it over and over, analyzing his tone, his expression, his body language. Was he sad? Angry? Broken? Opinions were divided, but everyone agreed on one thing. Something inside him had shifted. In the weeks that followed, more friends started speaking up. One anonymous source said, "Tyler feels like he built a world that turned against him. He doesn't know who's real anymore." Another claimed, "He loves his fans, but he hates the pressure they put on him to stay the same." What fans didn't know, however, was that behind all the public silence, Tyler was planning something that would shock everyone. His closest confidants knew about a private project he'd been working on for months, something deeply personal. But before he could release it, everything spiraled again. An influential fan page posted what they claimed was a leaked voice memo from Tyler's phone. In it, he could be heard ranting, "They think I owe them. They don't see the nights I can't sleep. They don't see the messages that tear me apart." Though no one could confirm if it was really him, the internet exploded. Some fans demanded he address it. Others defended him, saying he deserved privacy. The next morning, Tyler finally broke his silence, but not with words. He posted a single photo, a mirror selfie with the caption, "Reality check." Within seconds, the comment section flooded. One comment read, "Is this your way of saying you're done with us?" Another said, "We love you no matter what, Tyler." But deep down, fans knew this wasn't just another cryptic message. Something real was unraveling, and it was only the beginning. Because just 24 hours later, a new wave of drama would emerge, one involving betrayal, old friends, and a shocking confrontation that would change everything. The next day felt like an earthquake across social media. The photo Tyler posted, the one captioned "Reality check," had barely been online for 12 hours before a supposed insider dropped a massive leak on Reddit. Screenshots, voice notes, and a blurred photo of a private confrontation at his house in Bel Air. People didn't know what to believe, but one thing was clear. Tyler's private world was cracking open for everyone to see. According to the leak, the confrontation happened 2 nights before the reality check post. One of Tyler's closest friends, someone who had been part of his circle since the early days of Odd Future, showed up at his place uninvited. Apparently, this friend, identified only as Jay, was furious about Tyler's new attitude toward his fans. One voice memo supposedly recorded from that night started circulating online. You could hear 2 people arguing in the background, one voice sounding unmistakably like Tyler's. "You think you're better than the people who made you?" the other voice shouted. Tyler snapped back, "No, I just don't want to be owned by them." Then there was a pause, followed by Tyler saying quietly, "You used to get it, man." What happened? That line hit the internet like gasoline on fire. People began theorizing who Jay was. Some said it was Jasper. Others claimed it was one of Tyler's old collaborators from his early days. Fan forums were filled with timelines, supposed clues, and emotional debates. The phrase, "You used to get it," started trending on Twitter. By nightfall, Tyler's name was everywhere again. But this time, even bigger artists started chiming in. One rapper tweeted, Sometimes your audience outgrows you, and sometimes you outgrow your audience. Others subtweeted cryptic messages about loyalty and betrayal. Everyone was talking, but Tyler stayed silent. Then, in a move nobody expected, a video appeared on Instagram Live from someone claiming to be at that Bel Air confrontation. In the shaky footage, Tyler can be seen pacing around a backyard, clearly agitated. "I gave y'all everything," he says, voice cracking slightly. "And when I tried to take something back for myself, suddenly I'm fake?" The camera shakes as someone behind it whispers, "Dude, this is too much," before the stream cuts off. Fans went into total frenzy. The hashtags The Tyler Breakdown and Fan Betrayal started trending within hours. The comment section across all his social media turned into chaos. Some pleaded for him to take care of himself. Others accused him of acting superior. One fan posted a heartbreaking message. "We just wanted to feel connected. We weren't trying to own him." But what most people didn't realize was that the drama wasn't only happening online. Behind closed doors, Tyler's relationships were crumbling. One of his closest friends, a producer he had worked with for years, decided to speak out in an interview. He said, "Tyler's been struggling. It's not the fame. It's the weight of being seen as something he's not. People want him to be funny, outrageous, but they forget he's human too." Meanwhile, more leaks kept coming. Private text messages surfaced between Tyler and a small group of trusted fans he used to interact with in his early days. In one of them, Tyler wrote, "Y'all are the only ones who don't expect me to be perfect." But then, months later, he apparently sent another message to the same group. "This got too weird. I need space." Someone from that group must have sold those screenshots because they were now public property. That's when the real twist came. One of those original fans, who had been running a major Tyler fan account for nearly a decade, decided to speak up. She posted a long thread detailing her experience with Tyler, claiming that he had grown cold, distant, and paranoid. "He thinks everyone's out to get him," she wrote. "I used to think he was joking, but now I realize he doesn't trust anyone anymore." She ended the thread with a chilling line, "I miss the old him, but maybe he was never real." The reaction was explosive. Fans were torn. Some accused her of betraying Tyler's trust. Others thanked her for exposing the truth. Within hours, the post had millions of views. And just as people were processing that, another bomb dropped. A short video surfaced of Tyler at a small private gathering, visibly upset, saying, "I don't even like who I've become." His voice broke mid-sentence. That moment shattered fans' hearts. Across TikTok and Twitter, users began making emotional edits, using clips of old interviews where Tyler was smiling, laughing, being his chaotic self, contrasted with this new, broken version of him. One caption read, "The price of fame is loneliness." Another said, "We didn't lose Tyler. We just never knew him." The narrative had shifted completely, from anger to sadness. People started expressing guilt, realizing maybe they'd pushed him too far, but not everyone was sympathetic. Some fan pages doubled down, calling him manipulative and claiming he was playing the victim. One viral post said, "He made millions off his fan base and now he's acting like he's above us." Another accused him of manufacturing drama to promote an album. Speculation spread like wildfire, and soon enough, rumors of a secret documentary started popping up. That theory gained traction fast when a well-known music journalist hinted that Tyler had been working on a personal visual project, exploring his relationship with fame and fans. They wrote that what if this isn't a breakdown? What if it's art? Suddenly, the internet had a new angle. Was Tyler's entire meltdown part of a larger creative statement? Was all this chaos deliberate? As fans argued, one of Tyler's family members stepped into the conversation. His cousin, who rarely spoke publicly, commented under a post saying, "He's hurting. Y'all think this is some performance, but it's not. Give him space." That comment sent chills through the fandom. People started realizing that maybe this wasn't about a stunt or a project. Maybe it was real. A few nights later, paparazzi caught Tyler leaving a small restaurant with a childhood friend. As they got into the car, a photographer shouted, "Tyler, do you hate your fans now?" Tyler turned to look directly into the camera, expression calm but tired, and said, "No, I just wish they'd love me without needing to control me." The clip went viral instantly. Within an hour, fans were quoting that line everywhere. But the story didn't stop there. Someone who worked at that restaurant claimed that during dinner, Tyler had broken down in tears, saying he didn't know who to trust anymore. Apparently, his friend told him, "You built something too big for one person to carry." And Tyler replied, "Then maybe I shouldn't have built it at all." That quote hit fans hard. It felt like a confession from a man drowning, under the weight of his own success. The backlash took a new turn when a group of longtime fans organized a public event in Los Angeles, a love and support rally for Tyler. Hundreds showed up with posters that read, "We still care and we're sorry." Videos of fans singing his songs together under the night sky flooded social media. For a moment, it seemed like things might be healing. But the next morning, Tyler posted a message on his Instagram story that shattered that hope. "Appreciate it. But this isn't what I need." Fans were heartbroken again. They didn't understand what he wanted anymore. One comment read, "He says he needs space, but then he says he feels alone. How do we help him?" Another said, "He's fighting ghosts we can't see." And they weren't wrong. Because behind that calm exterior, another betrayal was brewing. One that would push Tyler even further into isolation and force him to confront the people closest to him. The next revelation would come from inside his own team, and when it did, it would expose a secret no one saw coming. The betrayal didn't come from a stranger or an online troll. It came from someone inside Tyler's world. Someone he'd known for years, trusted with his career, his secrets, and his peace. Fans had suspected for weeks that leaks weren't random, and now the truth was starting to come out. A report surfaced late one night from an anonymous industry insider claiming that one of Tyler's own team members had been selling personal content, photos, private messages, even early demos, to fan pages for money. When the story broke, the internet went wild. Every music blog picked it up, each headline more dramatic than the last. Tyler betrayed from within. The real reason behind his silence. The creator faces his creation. Fans couldn't believe it. Some thought it was fake news. Others said it explained everything. The next morning, a blurry screenshot began circulating, an email chain that supposedly showed one of Tyler's assistants negotiating with a fan account over unreleased material. The messages were cold, businesslike. "You'll get the file after the payment clears," one line said. People started piecing together timelines, comparing details, and realizing that some of the biggest leaks in recent months matched the dates on that email. Within hours, someone connected the dots and dropped a name, someone who had been part of Tyler's team for years. A person who had appeared in behind-the-scenes footage, smiling beside him, hyping him up. The betrayal hit like a punch to the gut. Fans flooded that person's social media with angry comments. "How could you do that to him?" One wrote, "You're the reason he doesn't trust us anymore." Sources close to Tyler confirmed that he found out about the betrayal days before posting the reality check selfie. Apparently, when he confronted the person, it turned into a full-blown shouting match. One witness claimed Tyler yelled, "You sold me to the people I was trying to protect myself from," and stormed out. The person tried to defend themselves, saying it was just business, but Tyler wasn't hearing it. He reportedly cut ties that night. Fans were heartbroken, but also furious. For the first time, they understood why he'd been acting distant, paranoid, and cold. They started flooding his old posts with apologies, writing things like, "We get it now, and you didn't deserve this." But it was too late. Tyler had already pulled back completely. Meanwhile, more disturbing details began to emerge. Apparently, the same person who leaked the material had been feeding false rumors to certain blogs, stories about Tyler being difficult, ungrateful, and unstable. Those stories had fueled much of the backlash he faced earlier in the year. It was a manipulation from the inside, carefully crafted to make him look like the bad guy. The emotional toll was visible. When Tyler was finally spotted in public again, a rare sighting at a coffee shop, he looked drained. No smile, no energy, just quiet exhaustion. Fans who saw him said he seemed lost. One witness claimed a barista told him she was a huge fan, and he just nodded, whispered, "Thank you," and walked away. The photo of that moment went viral. It wasn't the usual Tyler people were used to seeing. It was a man stripped of his armor. Then came a new twist. An old friend from the Odd Future days went live on Instagram and started talking about how fame had changed everything. "Back then, we were just kids making stuff for fun," he said. "Now it's all contracts, expectations, and fake love." Fans began connecting that rant to Tyler's situation. Soon, Much or Bring Back Odd Future was trending as people longed for the simpler days, but those days were gone. That night, Tyler finally posted something again. A black background with white text that read, "You can't go back once you've seen the truth." It was vague, poetic, and painful. Fans dissected every word. Was he talking about the betrayal? The industry, his fans, everyone had a theory, but no one knew for sure. What happened next, though, took the entire story to a new level. Someone leaked a clip from an unreleased song, one that Tyler had supposedly recorded months earlier. In the song, his voice was raw, shaky, emotional. The lyrics went, "You wanted pieces of me, till there was nothing left to give." Fans immediately realized it was about everything he'd been going through. They called it his cry for help. Within hours, the clip had millions of plays. People started using the song in TikTok edits, captions, and tribute videos. The emotional wave was intense. Even celebrities began commenting, calling the song painfully honest. One well-known artist tweeted, "He's always been real, but this is something else." Another said, "The same fans who broke him are now trying to heal him." It became the most talked about story in entertainment that week, but the pain didn't stop there. Insiders said Tyler had completely shut down his circle. He stopped responding to calls, stopped going out, even canceled a few secret collaborations. One close source said, "He's trying to rebuild trust, but he doesn't know where to start." Another said, "He's scared of being seen as ungrateful, but he's also scared of being vulnerable again." The emotional weight became unbearable when a fan account posted a handwritten letter they claimed Tyler had written to himself. It wasn't confirmed if it was real, but the handwriting looked eerily similar. The letter read, "They loved me when I was loud. They left when I was quiet. Maybe I was never supposed to be both." That post hit millions of likes within hours. Fans cried, shared stories, and flooded timelines with messages of love and guilt. And then, as if fate wanted to twist the knife even deeper, the former team member who betrayed him gave a shocking interview to a podcast. In the clip, they said, "Tyler isn't innocent. He knew what was happening. He plays the victim because it sells." The internet erupted again. Some believed it. Others called it a desperate attempt for clout. But the damage was done. The betrayal had become entertainment. People who once admired him were now picking sides like it was a reality show. Twitter threads turned into episodes. TikTokers made dramatic recaps with sad music. And through it all, Tyler stayed silent. Not a single word. That silence became louder than any statement. Fans started wondering if he'd ever return to social media or to music. Some speculated that he might retire altogether. One insider said, "He's questioning everything. The fame, the art, the connection. He doesn't know what's real anymore." Meanwhile, behind the scenes, something else was brewing. A few of Tyler's oldest friends, people who'd known him before the fame, were trying to stage an intervention. They reportedly showed up at his house unannounced, hoping to talk. One of them later told a source, "We just wanted to remind him who he was before all this." What happened that night would soon leak too, and it would change how fans saw him forever. They said Tyler broke down. For the first time in years, he cried openly in front of them. "I don't know how to trust people anymore," he admitted. One friend told him, "You don't have to trust everyone. Just trust yourself again." Those words stuck with him. The next day, Tyler was seen driving alone, windows down, music blasting, something he hadn't done in months. Fans took it as a sign that maybe he was healing, maybe the storm was finally passing, but they didn't know what was coming next. Because while the world thought the worst was over, Tyler was about to do something nobody expected, something that would make people question everything they thought they knew about the story. And about him, a week passed with no sign of Tyler anywhere. No posts, no leaks, no sightings. Fans assumed he was taking time off to heal. But then, out of nowhere, his official YouTube channel uploaded a video titled simply, "The Truth." No thumbnail, no description, just a black screen and those two words. Within seconds, the internet exploded. Everyone rushed to click it, not knowing what to expect. The video opened with Tyler sitting alone in what looked like his home studio. The lighting was low, almost somber. No flashy colors, no background music, just him. For a moment, he said nothing, just looked straight into the camera. Then he sighed, leaned forward, and began speaking in a calm, almost broken tone. "I don't even know where to start," he said. "But I guess this is me facing it." The internet went silent. Comments poured in like a flood. Fans couldn't believe he was actually addressing everything. For the past year, Tyler continued, "I've been angry. Angry at the industry, at fake friends, and yeah, at the fans. Not because you did anything wrong, but because I started to feel like I didn't belong to myself anymore." His voice cracked slightly, and for the first time, people saw him not as the confident, sarcastic performer, But as a human being, stripped down, tired, and honest, he explained how the leaks, the betrayal, and the endless noise had made him paranoid. Every message felt like it came with strings attached, he said. People said they loved me, but they only loved the version that made them feel something. Not the real me. The real me gets tired. The real me doesn't want to be funny all the time. And when I stopped performing that version, people said I changed. Then he dropped the bombshell, something no one saw coming. The person who leaked my stuff, he said, was someone I called family. And I don't hate them. I actually understand why they did it. Because this world, this business, turns people into strangers. We all start thinking survival means selling something, even if that something is someone you love. Those words hit hard. Fans flooded the comments with heartbreak emojis and long messages about forgiveness and guilt. He paused for a long moment, visibly emotional, before adding, "I blamed everyone else for what happened, but the truth is, I let it. I let the noise get too close. I thought I could control it, but it controlled me." Then he looked straight at the camera and said something that sent chills down everyone's spine. "I built a fan base that mirrored me, passionate, chaotic, loud. But I never taught them how to love me quietly." For a few seconds, the room was silent except for the faint hum of background noise. Then Tyler smiled softly, sad but genuine. "I don't hate my fans," he said. "I just need to redefine what that word means. It can't be about ownership. It has to be about understanding." The video wasn't long, barely 10 minutes, but it changed everything. Fans who had been divided for months suddenly came together, sharing their emotions, apologizing, expressing support. Some wrote long posts admitting they had been too harsh, too demanding. Others said they finally understood the pressure he'd been under. Within an hour, Tar We Hear Yodeler started trending worldwide. But even as people were processing the emotional confession, another unexpected twist emerged. At the very end of the video, just before it faded to black, a faint instrumental started playing, a melody that fans immediately recognized as something new. It wasn't one of his old songs. It was different, somber, introspective, beautiful. On the screen, a single line appeared. "New era. No masks." That tiny clue reignited the internet all over again. Was this all leading up to a new project? A new album? A documentary? Or was it just closure? Fans didn't know, but the speculation was wild. Some said it was his way of turning pain into art. Others thought it was his goodbye. His goodbye. In the following days, interviews started surfacing from people close to him. One collaborator said, "He's not quitting music. He's just changing how he connects. He wants to make art again, not content." Another said, "This whole situation broke him, but it also woke him up." Tyler himself didn't post anything after that video. No updates, no explanations, just silence. But his silence didn't feel heavy anymore. It felt intentional. Peaceful, even. Fans described it as the calm after the storm. Then, 3 days later, a mysterious email went out to fans who were subscribed to his newsletter. It contained a link to a private page with a short message. "Thank you for still being here." Below it, there was a voice note of Tyler laughing quietly and saying, "Guess I'm not done yet." It was short, genuine, and exactly what fans needed to hear. The response was overwhelming. People flooded social media with clips of the voice note, crying, laughing, saying it felt like getting a message from an old friend after a long fight. The fan base that had once been divided was now united again, not through hype or controversy, but through understanding. Yet even with all the healing, some fans couldn't help but wonder if everything that happened, the leaks, the fights, the silence, was all part of a larger message. One fan wrote, "Maybe this was his way of making us see ourselves. We were the drama, and he just held up the mirror." As the weeks passed, more subtle clues began to appear. A few murals popped up around Los Angeles with a simple phrase painted across them: "The creator becomes real." No logos, no credits, just those words. Fans were convinced Tyler was behind it. They started calling it the Redemption Project. Theories spread like wildfire again. But this time the energy was different, less chaos, more admiration. One emotional fan video summed it up perfectly. He didn't just face his fan base, he faced himself. And maybe we all needed that. It went viral, with millions of views and heartfelt comments from people who said the story made them rethink how they treat artists. Behind the scenes, friends said Tyler had started rebuilding, reconnecting with people he'd distanced himself from. Spending time in the studio, but without pressure. He's doing it for himself again, one source said. No expectations, no image, just pure creation. And yet, the emotional scars were still there. One of his close collaborators admitted, "He's different now, softer, more guarded, but also more real." It's like he finally took off the mask he's been wearing for years. A month later, at a surprise pop-up event in Los Angeles, fans gathered for what they thought was a listening party for an unknown artist. Instead, Tyler walked onto the small stage dressed simply. No theatrics, no big intro. He looked around at the crowd and said, "It's been a weird year." Laughter rippled through the audience. Then he added, "But you're still here. That means something." He performed a new song, raw and emotional, with lyrics that reflected everything he'd been through. One line in particular made everyone cry. "You shouted my name till I couldn't hear myself. Now I'm learning to whisper it again." When the song ended, there was no massive production, no confetti, just a quiet, standing ovation. That night marked a turning point. It wasn't a comeback, it was a rebirth. The man who had once been swallowed by the chaos of fame had finally found his voice again. And this time, it wasn't for the cameras. It was for himself. After the performance, he stepped to the mic one last time and said, "I used to think my fans wanted the loudest version of me. Turns out y'all just wanted the real one. So here he is." And with that, he walked off stage, leaving everyone in stunned silence. No encore, no announcement, just a feeling. Bittersweet, beautiful, and final. Outside, fans hugged each other, some crying, some smiling. It wasn't about celebrity anymore. It was about connection, forgiveness, and the fragile relationship between artist and audience. In the weeks that followed, clips from that night went viral across every platform. People called it the redemption of Tyler. One fan summed it up best. He faced the reality of his fan base. And in the end, we all faced the reality of ourselves. And though no one knew what would come next, another album, a film, or silence, one thing was certain: Tyler had finally taken back control of his story. And this time, no one could twist it but him. And that, right there, is where the story stands. Tyler, the creator, once at war with his own fan base, has now found a strange peace in the chaos. It's not a perfect ending, but maybe that's the point. Maybe the real story isn't about fame, betrayal, or even music. Maybe it's about rediscovering who you are when the world starts telling you who to be. Fans are still divided. Some say he's preparing for a brand new era, while others think he's finally stepping away for good. But one thing's for sure: everyone's waiting to see what he does next. Some fans believe the new era he teased is going to be his most honest project ever. Something that blurs the line between confession and creation. Others think it was his farewell, a final message to remind people that artists are human too. Whatever the truth may be, the world can't stop talking. The forums, the comment sections, the fan edits. It's like a living documentary unfolding in real time. And even now, weeks later, his words still echo. "I built a fan base that mirrored me, but I never taught them how to love me quietly." Quietly.